What's up, everybody? King Triple C here, the Olympic champion, flyweight champion, the bantamweight champion of the world. And I got a public service announcement to all you wannabe MMA casuals or MMA fans for that reason. You guys make sure to listen to my boy Story of the Fight with Will and Miro. You know why? Because Triple C said so. And if you don't, you can do me a favor and you can bend the knee to King Triple C 2.
Dude, I'm fucking exhausted this morning.
Dude, I was so exhausted going into this weekend. I took yesterday off, dude. Cause I started feeling sick and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice and stuff. I still feel like my nose is all jacked up. Was not feeling good at all. I had a fever and shit. So.
And you're still doing a podcast. That's like Michael Jordan playing the flu game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's amateur hour.
Same level.
This is above that. Dude. This is demanding.
I'm just fucking exhausted, man.
Yeah.
Like that, the damn card went on
yeah,
forever.
Dude,
and
after the, what was it? What did you say? It was,
when I was talking shit about Sataki?
No, it was, let's see. It was 25 minutes in between the Phillips fight and the Randamie fight.
Ridiculous,
They could have put another fight in there.
So many fucking commercials. I don't know how many times I saw stupid ESPN commercials, NBA Finals commercials. Dude, I was exhausted.
Did you notice that ESPN was like really fucking up too?
In what sense?
Like anytime they tried to pull a replay of something, anytime they were like, and we're gonna go to commercial, and then it'd get like quiet for a sec, and then they'd be like, it was just weird. Like the whole production seemed like not
amateur
smooth.
hour?
Yeah, it was weird, super weird.
It's just Yaz Island in general, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
If who's probably producing it? Sataki.
Yeah, either that or
he was the producer.
Dan Hardy's haircut.
Oh, dude. Or Jourdain's haircut. Yeah. I pointed that out to you. Oh, my God, dude. There's just so many things about last night. I don't know. We can go and get started talking about the night, man. It was, like I said, I'm still like half asleep, I feel like.
Yeah.
I think the fights were over like at 12:30 over here.
Yeah.
And then, like, I was like in and out during the Holm fight. Like, I just remember, like, hearing Holly Holm's, like, little,
yeah.
And then just, like, next thing I know, like, I, like, open my eyes again. It's, like, 2 minutes into the round. I'm like, oh, shit, what happened? Yeah. So, like, I had to go back and start rewatching some of it.
Damn.
I was exhausted. But we can start talking about Imavov.
Imavov versus Jordan Williams. Yeah.
Dude, that was a fun fight, man.
Dude, super fun fight. That was, yeah, it sucks that the gas tank didn't hold up for Williams, but man, it was such a sick fight.
He brought it.
Yeah, he brought
it that first round.
He took some shot. I mean, and like your favorite ref missing two gnarly headbutts in the third round.
Dude,
first round the headbutt drops Imavov. Third round, Jordan Williams gets headbutt in the eye, like right here, and he like holds his face. He's like, "What the fuck was that?" And the ref's like, "It's a fight. Yeah. Come on, keep fighting.
Come on." Don't forget to be respectful.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, man. He's
like
crazy.
I told you, it's just... And I text you, and I'm like, dude, this fucking guy. And you're like, I was just waiting for you to text me about him. And I was like, something about his fucking face.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's not the, like, calls that he's missed and the fact that...
Dude, he breaks...
It's all of it together.
He breaks people up off the clinch so fast. Like, it's boxing. Like, he's treating it like it's boxing. It's crazy. Like,
I can't stand that guy.
I've never
Worst
seen
ref in the game for me right now.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd rather have Yamasaki in here than
yeah.
Sataki right now, whatever his name is. Sataki. I don't know. Sataki.
Something
I don't
like
know.
That.
But, dude, yeah, that was a really fun fight. That first, I thought that Williams had dropped Imavov at first, but after the replay, I saw it was the headbutt.
Yeah.
But then you see Imavov clinch right after that.
Imavov is...
I was like, oh no, don't clinch, because it was so much fun just going into that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, plus he's just going to get separated right away. And, man, he's exciting, dude. I like it. His I mean, he's training over in France, just recently legalizing mixed martial arts and stuff. I think we're going to start to see a lot more fighters out of there. Obviously, he's not from France, but he's fighting out of France with Francis Ngannou.
What made you think he's not from France?
Huh?
What made you think he's not from France?
Isn't he from...
Nah, I'm just messing around, dude. With a name like Imavov, that guy probably hangs out with Putin all the time. You know what I mean?
The nickname Russian Sniper. Jesus.
Dude.
But yeah, Cyril Gane or Cyril Gane, however you pronounce his name, and Francis Ngannou. That's a up and coming camp for sure. But yeah, he looked good, dude. He looked really good. He was able to kind of just keep weathering the onslaught that Jourdain was throwing at him, and was just picking his shots over and over and over again. And yeah, Jourdain Williams can take the shots, but I think that was also sapping his energy, just constantly getting just hit from the outside. You know what I mean? Like, it's like similar to like how people fight Nate, where Nate will just keep this pace and just keep hitting you with these shots. Nick Diaz as well, where like you're like, yeah, I can take these, I can keep coming, and then all of a sudden the third round hits and you're like, fuck, dude, like,
yeah, dude, they just accumulate. And
yeah,
no, for sure. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that fight. That's probably one of the fights I enjoyed the most the entire night, quite honestly.
Same here.
Even Sataki couldn't ruin it for me. He tried.
He definitely tried.
But he didn't succeed.
Did they list?
By the way, I was told, so I had this rehearsal, right? Because I told you I'm kicking off the thing for the company.
Yeah.
So I had the rehearsal, and they're like, you swing back and forth in your chair too much. And I was like, oh shit. So like I went back and watched a couple of the podcasts. I was like, dude, I do that all the time.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
I'm like, I'm laid back. I feel like I'm talking to all these friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my friends don't tell me to stop swinging my chair. How dare you?
I would never say that.
Thanks,
I would never bring that up. Before we move on to the next fight, though, let's just do a quick moment of silence for a couple of these fights that got canceled off this card. We could have had Thiago Santos versus Glover Teixeira, Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush, and Jeremy Stevens versus Edson Barboza.
This card would have been so stacked.
Yeah,
man.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. We're talking probably one of the funnest fight night cards in a while.
That would have been, it would have been really good. I still enjoyed most of it, but
yeah, I enjoyed most of it with the exception of a couple fights.
Yeah, but it would have been sick to have some of those fights for sure.
No, absolutely. Let's move on to the next one, man.
Yeah,
Culibao versus Jourdain.
This was my favorite fight of the night, by far.
Okay.
Yeah, by far. Culibao, man, that guy, I'm excited to keep watching him fight because he came in a significant underdog, and I thought
biggest undercard of the night. Underdog.
Yeah,
biggest underdog of the night.
Yeah, and man, he was impressive, dude. I didn't expect him to be able to stand and trade and win, in my opinion, win the striking the whole fight. That was sick. That dude's a gamer, dude. When in the third round, when Jourdain, when he hit him with like a flying knee or something, or he hit him with something good, and like smelt blood a little bit, and then just threw everything at him. And Culibao just stayed. He didn't a lot of people, I think, under that volume, especially in the third round, they're just going to shell up, take a couple shots, and just get overwhelmed. But he shelled up and was like, all right, now it's my turn, and just fought fire with fire. It was a sick moment because a lesser fighter would have just crumbled at that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think Culibao has come in. Is it 0-2 into the UFC right now? Off his first.
This was his second
fights?
fight. This was his second fight.
Yeah, so I think that in the UFC, and I think he started off 0-2 in the UFC, but when we take a look at his fights, man, they've been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And again, Dana White, as long as he sees that you're bringing excitement to your fights, he'll keep you on the roster.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what he does. Jourdain, man, I notice he has these wild exchanges sometimes.
Yeah.
These flying knees from across the octagon, and these spinning back fists, and he continues attempting the flying knees, and he just leaves himself so wide open with some of these. So I wonder if his corner ever tells him, because again on ESPN I don't get to hear the corner, so you'd have to tell me, Will. Yeah. Were they talking to him at all? Like, dude, you're leaving yourself wide open right now.
I had my volume down.
You did?
Yeah, I don't know. The commentating was just not. It was like it's like almost a little too chummy for me. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, it depends on who's partnered together.
Yeah, I think
When it's Brendan, Paul Felder, and
Hardy.
Hardy.
I think Felder and Hardy. I like both of them a lot, but I think together they might just be too like chummy, like two color commentators who are just very much color commentators.
Dude.
Which is fine sometimes, you know. I wasn't like super into it though. That's all.
Well, I think they're too similar in their styles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, except for the accent, but everything else, like the way that they like to color commentate, is so similar.
Yeah.
So I think when you put them together, we need a little bit more contrast.
Yeah,
I guess you could say.
Yeah. What did you think of the decision?
I was fine with it.
Yeah, that's how I scored it.
I was fine with it, man. Really, and I don't mind when it's warranted. You know, draws. I'm fine with that. I 100%. And if they would have gone either way, honestly, I would have been like, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it went with Culibao or Jourdain. But with it being a draw, I was like, oh, sick. I'm fine with it. Yeah. Well, and you see Jourdain, and then he's like, wait, I won, right? And then they're like, nah, dude.
Dude, pay attention. One judge gave it 30-27 for Jourdain, which that's crazy. How do you give the first round to him? He got dropped. He got outstruck like almost 3-1 and got dropped, and they gave him that round. That's crazy.
We should just rename this podcast to Refs and Judges.
I know.
Because every week, dude, we're just like, ugh.
There's always something.
So frustrating.
There's never a clean week.
I know, but I'm sure we're not the only MMA fans that are extremely frustrated with some of these things. And and that's why even when I think that there's a clear-cut winner in something going into a decision, I'm just always like, well, fuck, we'll see what the judges think.
Yeah.
Because it's just, something always seems off, man.
Yeah.
And it's not always just like Adelaide Bird, you know what I mean? We're talking...
Always.
Sal D'Amato and, people have been doing this for a long time. It's just like, come on, when are we going to figure it out?
I know. Yeah. Well, hopefully soon.
Anyways, cool. Condit versus McGee.
Yeah, dude, this was a old school fight. Dude,
I fucking love this fight. I'm a big Carlos Condit fan.
Yeah, me too.
So like seeing him walk out into just seeing him on the walkout with intensity, dude, I got goosebumps.
Really?
Well, I was watching. I'm getting him right now just talking about it. Yeah, dude, I love Carlos Condit, man. I always enjoy watching him fight. So seeing him back out there, almost a 2-year layoff, and they were talking about how he feels like he's in the right state of mind now to make another run, and he looked pretty good, man. Light on his feet, his movement was solid. He started off a little slow in the first round, but I feel like dude, as soon as he finished the first round with that right, it
brought him back.
Yeah,
he was like, okay, I can do this. Dude. I'm back.
It was turned on right after that.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it,
dude.
Man.
The way he throws, his footwork and I don't understand. There's nobody else that fights like him. There's a few fighters, right, where you can Rogan will always say if you saw a silhouette of him throwing punches and stuff, you know exactly who it is, like Cub Swanson. There's some specific guys that if you just saw their shadow, you'd know who it was. And Carlos Condit's one of those where he throws these weird jumping into his hooks and weird angles, and when he threw that high kick against GSP where he rolled around and then jumped up with the kick over the top, just very strange. And that's exactly when he dropped court at the beginning or the end of the first round. It was the same thing, just very unorthodox angles that he makes, and it was cool seeing him be able to do that with pretty good speed in this fight. So yeah, man, I know we're talking about Robbie Lawler, what he should be doing in his career and stuff. It's let's do that rematch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Who was it? Matt Brown, I think also.
Yeah, Matt Brown called him out.
Said that he wanted to fight him, right? So a few fun fights for Condit, man. As long as Condit wants to do it, and as long as he looked the way he did against McGee, dude, I'm down with continuing to watch him fight.
I'm fine with it, especially because, in my opinion, he's not going to make a run for the belt, but he's got a few fights left on his contract. I think he makes $135K to show, and then another 135 to win. So it's dude, just fight out that contract. Just have fun fights, get paid, and then because people are like, oh, he should retire off this win, all that stuff. Now he's 1-6 in his last, or 1-5 in his last 6 fights. It's like, we don't need him to retire off this win. Like, he looks fine. It's not like he's getting his ass kicked. Even in his losses, he's not getting his ass kicked. You know, he's not taking a ton of damage. But I want to see that Robbie rematch because I think he beat Robbie for the belt. But
yeah, that would be fun to watch. And how about they did my boy Dan Hardy? They did him dirty.
Yeah,
dude,
that's rough, dude.
He's like, oh, there I am. I'm famous. It's like, what else are you going to say? Like, when you see footage of yourself getting knocked out.
I know, dude. Yeah. It was cool seeing him interviewing Condit at the end of the fight.
That was awesome.
Cool.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That mutual respect, and even Condit afterwards, he gives him his little daps or whatever, man. I enjoyed that, yeah, for sure. But when I saw that, I was like, man, how awkward must that be, too, for, like, Felder and Brendan to be like,
dude, even more awkward for Brendan, probably. Because Felder's at least been there. Felder understands. But Brendan's probably like...
Yeah. I hope they get... That's probably why Hardy felt like he had to say something.
I know, yeah.
Because he probably felt like this is probably awkward for them. Like, I have to say something kind of like...
Kind of make light of it.
Make light of it, exactly. But, man, I saw it and I was like, dude, that's messed up. I hope they give him a heads up. Like, hey, dude, we're going to show some highlights of Condit. In the highlights, you might be in there getting knocked out. Just like, listen,
every time he fights, we show it. Sorry you're commentating. It was a cool knockout.
Funny. Oh, dude. I missed one thing from the Culibao fight.
Oh, yeah,
what? I
what?
want to talk about. The eye poke.
Oh, yeah.
When are we going to stop just taking the fighter's word for it? And just like... And that was your boy Herzog, too. Herzog did a great job again last night.
Yeah.
But... something needs to happen with these eye pokes where if the ref doesn't see it, let's continue fighting.
Yeah.
If he sees it, because a lot of times fighters don't see where it's coming from. If it's a punch...
Yep.
In this case, if you poke yourself in the eye like Culibao did, like...
Yeah, dude.
You think the ref would have seen something.
Yeah, that was a good one. Poking yourself in the eye. I think that's the first time I've seen that.
Props to Culibao, though, because you're always like, yeah, I poked myself in the eye.
Yeah.
Man. And he's like, oh, okay, get ready. So honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I poked myself in the eye.
Yeah, that was classic.
Shit. Anyways. Duško versus Townsend.
Yeah, this was a sick fight. This guy is something to watch. Man.
Duško's legit, man.
Yeah.
With Townsend, up against the cage, and Duško kept on doing the same thing when he was coming in.
Dude.
Overhand right, left hook, right uppercut.
Yeah.
He used that combo, I don't know how many times, and every single time, Townsend seemed caught off guard by it.
Dude, his head was like,
you go up against the cage.
It's like, fuck.
You go up against the cage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here comes the overhand right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's leading with the overhand right. And sure enough, overhand right, left hook, right uppercut. And I was like, here it comes again. Overhand right, left hook, right uppercut. I was just like, Townsend, you know it's coming, bro.
Yeah. Dude, at that point, I think he was just kind of... I think he was just kind of off his instincts. You know what I mean? Because... he was hitting hard.
Discombobulated.
Yeah, he was hitting hard, and he was so accurate, dude. And like so measured. Yeah. Like it was vicious, but like measured at the same time. That was super sick to see from a young guy.
That first time where he went off on like 10 strikes in a row, just going off on him, and I was like, dude, don't blow your wad right now, man.
Yeah.
Don't blow your wad. But he had enough left in the tank even after that. I was like, God damn, man, this guy is gonna be exciting for a while.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, don't blow your wad. And then he finished that long combo and just kind of stepped back, and I was like, oh shit, he just gassed himself. But then he just kind of shook it off and was like right back, and I was like, oh no, he looks fresh. Never mind, he's good.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing as soon as he stepped back.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, there it is. Like that's what I expected to see.
Yeah,
So, and you see that with young fighters a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. They go headhunting.
Where they
yeah.
Exactly, especially when they feel that they have somebody hurt. Mm-hmm. And Townsend, dude, he's tough, man.
Yeah.
He took some major shots, and
definitely
at the
tough.
end, that ground and pound was just too much. And sometimes I still I get fighter mentality, but like when he sat up and he looks at the ref, he's like, dude, what? What?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, you've been getting the shit kicked out of you.
Well, because it's one of those things where it's like, I'm sure it's like TKOs aren't necessarily only for when you're badly fucked up and like unconscious. It's also for when you're just not defending yourself. Like that's technically what it is. And mummy guard in full mount
stop
is
you
not
from taking any more unnecessary damage, and there's no sign of you turning it around.
There was no answer.
Or like you said, defending yourself.
Yeah, there was no answer. There was still 2 minutes left in the round, and he had him full mounted and was landing every single punch he was throwing, dude. That was bad. That was some vicious ground and pound.
It was, man. So when I saw Townsend just like,
yeah,
I was like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, just sit up and be like, all right, you got me. You know, fucking on to the next one. Start focusing.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Why?
I wish they talked about it too. Townsend used to fight at light heavyweight, and I thought he was clearly much bigger than Duško. And I thought, and that was even more impressive that he was taking it to him that much. And might be part of why he was able to withstand some of these punches, because, man, he was hitting them a lot. I don't know what the stats were, but he was landing a lot of strikes.
He was teeing off on him, man.
Yeah.
He was teeing off
I
on
wonder
him.
what the accuracy was. You know what I mean?
He wasn't really setting much up with his jab, you know. He was walking straight forward. And
yeah.
I don't know what the game plan was for Townsend, but I don't think it was, you know, like, hey, let me get socked in the face 5 times. Let him get tired from hitting me with this 3-piece and a soda combo.
Yeah.
Let me get, you know what I mean? Like, then as soon as he's in full mount and he hits me, I got him where I want him.
Yeah.
You know, like, come on, man. I don't know.
Dude, so...
Are you checking the striking accuracy?
Yeah, so 63%, 85 strikes landed in a round and a half. That's a fuck ton, dude.
I mean,
yeah.
Good for Duško.
Yeah.
I love saying his name, too.
Yeah, dude, 11 out of 12 body shots.
Wow.
I like that.
I like that. We all know you love the body.
I love it.
That sounded weird.
He's somebody to look for. He's someone to tune in on every single time.
Absolutely.
Man, that middleweight division is
so.
fucking sick, dude.
It's stacked.
Hey, how about he beat Michel Pereira or Pereira?
Pereira.
Yeah, before 2 fights ago, he fought him and knocked him out in the first round.
I mean, what is he 9-0 now?
He climbed to 10-0.
10-0.
Yeah, that was technically his UFC debut.
I love the fact that, because a lot of times fighters don't talk about trying to stay undefeated outside of boxing.
Yeah.
And, you know, when they're talking about championships, belts, wanting to go for it, he's like, man, honestly, like, I want to stay undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
My entire career, I want to stay undefeated. So it just looks like somebody that's determined beyond the belt.
Yeah.
With some fighters, they win the belt and they kind of lose their identity.
Yeah.
Because their entire life, they've been trying to get to this summit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get there and they're like, well, what now?
Yeah.
Right? So you got mentalities like this where, you know, even after, if he were to win the belt, his goal is to stay undefeated the entire time since the beginning. So there's somebody that can, you know, have a nice run, man.
Yeah, it's like Adesanya, where he's like, I want to have a legacy like Anderson, where I just like defended against number one contender. So like, yeah, that's always welcomed.
Dude, I hear it now. You're congested.
Oh, dude, yeah. I feel like shit.
Again, the flu game, dude. Better than the flu game.
Yeah.
Jordan has nothing on you. So, Randamie versus Peña. I was 100% on my picks going up to this fight. Well, and I missed the draw. That fucking draw threw me off.
Yeah, draws throw everybody off.
I don't think I ever look at a card and I'm like, oh, this one's a draw. You know, circle both the fighters. Never.
Yeah.
Said nobody ever. But with Randamie versus Peña.
Yeah, you picked Peña, huh?
I picked Peña. I did pick Peña because I thought she was going to win 2 rounds to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, I was feeling like a fucking genius going into the 3rd round.
You're like, yeah.
Because I was like, this is exactly how I called it. This is exactly how I played it out. There's going to be a feeling out process. Randamie was going to use her length, you know, and her distance to kind of keep them apart. And then it's going to take some time for Peña to figure out a way to get to the inside, to clinch up against the fence, take her down, and just do work on top. So by the end of the 2nd round, I was like, fuck yeah, you know what I mean? I called it.
And then all of a sudden, Randamie was like, I got submissions now.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have a submission my entire career? Check this out.
Yeah. You want to put me against a graph? Dude, that was I was kind of a gnarly choke. Kind of a gnarly choke.
That was a nasty guillotine, man. It was a guillotine, right?
Yeah, guillotine.
And I love Julianna Peña too.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've said it before plenty of times on the podcast where I followed a lot of seasons of Tough.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of the fighters on Tough I follow for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to pay attention to their career afterwards, and Julianna Peña is one of them.
Yep.
I've always been a big fan. And, going in, my buddy Germaine, I was texting him, and he's like, Peña, really, dude?
Wait, what?
My buddy Germaine?
Okay.
Not Randamie.
Yeah. I was like...
Man, no. He is not a Muay Thai champion.
Yeah.
My buddy Germaine. He and he's like, dude, why'd you pick Peña? And I was just like, dude, she's got that mom power now. Very much like
Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah. So I know Randamie's striking was going to be a lot better than Peña's,
Mm-hmm.
but again, I thought Peña was going to have enough to clinch, take it down to the ground, and just do enough on the ground to be able to win it 2-1.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see her getting caught in a guillotine.
Yeah, for me, I had Randamie, especially because her fight against Nunes, her grappling, I thought, showed tremendous improvement because she was able to kind of hold her own on the ground against Amanda. And so I was like, okay, even if she gets taken down, my thought was, I thought she was either going to be able to get a sweep or get right back up to the feet and keep working. Did not expect her to throw the choke in right away and actually get it. That was surprising.
And she fell right into it too, man.
Yeah.
Peña fell right into it, and it's probably because she didn't have exactly.
Yeah.
She didn't have a clue, and she didn't expect Randamie to just lock that in, and it was so tight, man.
Dude.
So tight, and I knew it. As soon as her legs stopped moving, I was like, oh, she's out.
Yeah.
She's out.
And she was out because the camera cut away as soon as it started happening.
When her body shook?
Dude, her legs, bro. They were like...
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, dude. And then the camera cuts real quick. They're like, no, don't show that.
They're like, oh, we can't show this.
Yeah. Dude, the amount of people, though, on Reddit and stuff who were like, dude, like, that's fucked up. Like, she definitely could have died, all this shit. It's like, it's not a movie.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that pisses me off in the movies the most is, like the whole, like, anytime, like, a spy is, like, infiltrating someplace, they slap on the rear naked choke. They don't actually have it. And then, they don't even have the choke locked up. It's just like, like you just did like this. And they're like,
They're just slowly, like, out of the screen,
and and they're like, 3 seconds. They're like, all right, they're dead. We're going to move on. It's like, that guy comes back in like 5 seconds, dude. Never happens like that. You know how long you have to continue choking somebody who's out to actually kill them? But
the body's an amazing thing, man. The human body's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
So your self-defense mechanism is to go out so that your brain's not asking for as much oxygen.
Yeah.
So it goes into survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it takes a while. Man.
Yeah, it really does.
It takes a while. But yeah, that was like I said, I saw that too.
The twitches?
I saw the little, man.
Yeah, that's always not fun to watch.
And they probably turned the audio down too, so you wouldn't hear the snoring. I'm sure there was some serious snoring. Man.
Yeah, definitely. And the come to, the like weird sounds you make when you come to.
Did I tap? Did I tap?
No,
I'm sure that.
Just those things, because those happen, dude.
For sure.
Those definitely happen.
Dude, Randamie's straight right hand.
Yeah.
So quick.
What I like is that
lightning
rear
fast,
uppercut that she tries to like lean in with. She was trying to catch her with it every time she would try to level change. It was just like a nice scooping. It was like, man, her technique is so good.
And her arm is so long and lanky.
Yeah.
That when Peña was slipping to the right, she was still able to hook down underneath and catch her on the opposite end. And when I saw that a couple times, I was like, God damn, man. Like, for Peña, when you're trying to find a way in the inside and you're slipping.
Yeah.
Right? And you go with the left jab and slip to the right, trying to get closer, and you get met with that uppercut. You're like, what do I have to do?
Yeah, what do I do?
And then finally, like in the second round, when she was just eating a couple shots.
At that point, you have to just...
bulldozing in
Yeah.
and then just getting her up against the cage. I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
just as I predicted.
Yeah. Things are going well here.
And then it just...
Yeah.
All right, man. The final fight here, Holm versus Aldana.
Yeah. So this...
I even used the accent.
Yeah.
Aldana.
But say the first name.
What is it again?
Irene.
Oh, Irene.
Yeah.
Irene.
Yeah.
Irene, yeah,
That's
sorry.
a good one.
Irene Aldana.
This one exactly how I thought it was gonna go. Like exactly. There's
levels.
There was so much hype on Aldana just because of I guess the knockout against Ketlin Vieira, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like she was like outclassing her that whole fight. You know, it was pretty even until she caught her. You know, I mean, this is someone, no disrespect, but was getting kind of pieced up by Bechkohea. You know what I mean?
Where's Bechkohea now?
Who knows? Who knows?
Dude, I feel like it had something to do with her getting cut, Will.
Maybe.
Because I remember one time you were like, how long is she going to be?
I know, and then she got cut like right after.
And then she got cut. I was like, what an asshole, Will.
Yeah.
You just... Why would you get somebody to lose their job?
Yeah, you know? I like to see the elite of the elite, you know what I mean? No.
Texting Dana like, bro, come on, man. Enough's enough.
Yeah, enough's enough. But
how long are you going to be putting this in front of us?
yeah. This is a good fight though for her, I think, if she can improve where she needs to, because man, it was Holly circling the same way the entire fight, and Aldana just walking forward, following her the entire fight, getting kicked with the side kicks to the body, getting pieced up, never cutting off the cage. I think she wasn't cutting off the cage because I think that was the game plan, is to not move into the left high kick from Holly. But at a certain point, you cannot just chase somebody for 5 straight rounds getting pieced up. And man, Holly, I think she broke her record for most strikes landed in a fight. I mean, she looked aggressive. Normally, she's very much like, keep away, bam, stay away. Keep away, bam, stay away. But this one, she was really
with 20 seconds left in the fight, man. That burst that she had, I was like, oh my God, that was... You know how much it takes from somebody, right, in the last 20 seconds of a 25-minute fight to still have that type of
Who's been
output.
on their bike the whole fight. It's not like she was getting any reps that whole fight. And can we talk about that too? She's 38 years old.
38 or 36?
She's 38 years old, about to be 39.
Dude, she looks like she's in fantastic shape too.
Mm-hmm.
I know where you're going with this, Will.
I'm not gonna go anywhere with it, but let's just let that simmer for a sec.
That's
crazy.
You already went there with it.
It's crazy, man. That's interesting. Who else is like that?
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, that's different. He's not like the volume isn't the same, the output isn't the same. You know what I mean?
DC.
He doesn't have to worry about grappling. You know, like it's different.
Daniel Cormier.
Cormier a little bit different, but Cormier you saw slow down a little bit.
That and Cormier looks like he's supposed to at the age of 41 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like he has the ultimate dad bod.
Yeah.
You know, but Holly Holm, man, she looks fantastic. And
she might have been the most ripped
she's one
on
of the
the
fighters
card.
I follow. She's one of the fighters I follow on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I do see that she goes through a crazy, crazy training regimen.
Yeah.
She's the most tested fighter. I don't know if she still is, but she has been the most tested fighter by USADA. Mm-hmm. Nobody on the roster has been tested more than Holly Holm.
Yeah.
So the skeptical hippo eyes that you just showed right now, I feel like USADA has had on her as well. Nowitzki.
Yeah, but as we know,
he's probably been
drug testing is cat and mouse game. You know what I mean? So
for sure, John Jones probably showed her how to hide under an octagon if USADA ever shows up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's just interesting, and she might. I mean, certain people are just gifted athletes. You know, that's definitely true. It's just a little. This is my story of the fight, though. By the way, just because it's not so much It's more about the division, though. What are we doing? Like what's next?
I mean, what do we?
Is Amanda gonna fight Holly?
Holm versus
Is she gonna fight
Randamie?
Germaine again? Like what? It's just
Holmes versus Randamie, I think, and then the winner goes after Nunes again.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me wonder how long is the UFC willing to continue with this weight class?
No, they'll continue with it. Amanda will retire soon, and once she retires, the vacuum will get pulled away, and everybody's going to rise to the occasion, try to become because the same thing happened when John Jones first left. When Anderson got knocked out, middleweight went crazy. Like anytime there's a dominant champion in a division, the division starts to look kind of shallow. And then they leave or they get beat, then all of a sudden the division kind of comes alive. And I think that'll probably happen with this division. It's just...
But I think that after Randamie, Holly Holm, Nunes, who else do we have?
Nobody. But they're nobody's right now.
And that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
right now.
But that's the thing.
I'm thinking about the division.
Yeah, but even with middleweight and with light heavyweight, when John, you could have said the same thing. The division's cleared out. There's nobody viable, and then all of a sudden they kind of spring to life because all these people now they have. I would imagine when there's someone like Amanda Nunes, especially in female divisions, when there's someone like Amanda Nunes at the top, almost subconsciously you think that's unobtainable for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once she's gone, all of a sudden it sparks life into these people who are like, now I'm hungry. I see my opportunity. I see my path to a belt, and all of a sudden they become fighters that you actually want to watch. You know what I mean?
That you want to watch? Maybe it's going to take some time because I think about with John Jones leaving, I still want to watch Jan Blachowicz.
No,
versus.
I'm talking about back when he first left, when like DC became the champ and John was gone. And all of a sudden it was Rumble,
and you had
Gustafsson,
DC and Rumble, Gustafsson. So you still have all these fighters, right? What I'm saying is you move Holm out, or let's say that Nunes leaves. Are you like, man, I got to tune into this Holm versus Aldana rematch?
No. But I think there's other fighters who are going to rise to the occasion that we may not even see as viable fighters right now. That all of a sudden take it to a new level because they see a path. You know what I mean? That's what I think could potentially happen.
Let's hope so, man. Because as of right now,
it's nothing.
Just with what I've seen, like I said, past those three fighters, there really isn't much that I think would... I'll watch.
Yeah.
I know you'll watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just thinking overall, how many people will want to tune in to watch, again, an Aldana fight?
Yeah. I think she will get better from this fight, hopefully. But then we have people like I think Aspen Ladd is going to, and even Julianna Peña. I think some of these fighters are going to take it to another level once Amanda retires. Right now it's just it seems so unobtainable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like anybody with Nunes right now would be. It wouldn't be very competitive.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
If anybody
right
beats her, it'll be like one of those fluke wins where it's like, oh shit, and then they do a rematch and then she wins, and then.
Yeah, but once she retires, let's say that we do have Randamie holding the title, and you see that Peña was able to give her some problems, then there's a probability of somebody else being able to step in and hold the belt at that point.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened.
So in that case, it makes sense.
Yeah, look what happened when Ronda was champ. It was like, who's she gonna fight? And then Holly beat her, and all of a sudden it was like Holly, Miesha Tate's now the champ. Amanda Nunes brings it. Nobody thought Amanda Nunes was who she is now. You know what I mean? But once Ronda was gone, all of a sudden, now we have Amanda Nunes. So like, it's just one of those things where there's dominant champs. I think it turns fighters away, even if they're not consciously thinking it, because obviously they think they can beat everybody, right? But I think it...
I said we just have Shevchenko continue moving up in every weight class to see how many belts she could win.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be awesome. Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I feel you. I guess I'm just not overly excited about the rest of the roster on that weight class.
Yeah, and that's why it's story of the fight for me, because the division's just so shallow, It's like we try to get new blood in.
I didn't really have story of the fight.
Huh?
I didn't really have story of the fight, other than Sataki.
Yeah.
I can't stand that guy.
Sataki. Sataki.
Sataki.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what his name is.
Let's not even say it.
We'll say that ref.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve for us to say his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, overall, fun card.
Yeah, it was a decent card.
Fun card.
It just wasn't.
But the UFC really does have to do a better job of getting us these fights sooner, man. Like, I think about how much I enjoy, like, the quick cards.
Yeah.
It keeps me engaged. You know, I'm not dozing off. I'm not reaching for my phone to, like, kill time. You know, all I'm doing is just focusing on the fights because I'm like, boom, one's down, the next one's up.
Yeah.
One's down, the next one's up. I love that pace.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for this night was just it took away from how good some of the fights were because you lose the momentum from them and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is kind of you start thinking maybe it's kind of a boring fight card, but it's really just because there's so much in between time where you're like that your hype just slowly goes down from the last fight you just watched.
Hey, I noticed you didn't want to talk about Felipe and who's the other guy? Castro.
Yeah. Man.
What a shit show, huh?
Dude, the first 2 rounds were kind of fun. Just in a kind of like street brawls fight. But, man, that third round pissed me off, dude.
They were even like, it's kind of turned into like an offensive lineman battle because they just kind of like would like, see who could push who.
Well, Felipe,
push him up against the cage.
I felt bad for Felipe because he kept getting pushed against the cage and he was like, what the fuck? You could even hear him at one point. He was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like,
yeah, and he was like,
spanked him.
And the ref was like, don't talk, just fight.
Yeah. And then
okay, break.
Yeah. every 6 seconds on the clinch. And that I started to understand a little bit more and give him a little bit more credit for it because he would separate him and then Castro would literally just go like this and just bulldoze into him and then just hold him against the cage. And then it was a bummer because I really want to like Castro. That Greg Hardy fight where he was like, yeah, he was taking it to him. Finally, someone was taking it to Greg Hardy, and then he like broke his foot or hurt his foot or something like that. And he's like, I just couldn't do anything for the last half of the fight. My foot was so fucked up. It's like that sucks. And then now it's like, how fucked up was it? Was your cardio just shit? Because
that's a good point.
Felipe, if he just got in better shape, he has some good hands. I liked his striking.
Quick.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, Andrew Ruiz is a good.
Doesn't
he? And then when he's
he
walking,
looks like him a little bit.
He's walking out. He's like putting his hands up like he's fucking Thick Diaz or some shit, dude.
Diaz, I know, and he tried to slap him too after that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And they mentioned that they're like, this guy really admires the Diaz brothers.
Yeah.
And she's like,
yeah.
Whatever works for you, Felipe. Whatever works.
Yeah, I'm glad we got the win.
But yeah, that third round was just a shit show, man.
It was just so sloppy. And this is our co-main. Come on, that's our co-main.
Yeah, in the words of Will, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here,
dude? Yeah, I mean it was just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I didn't really want to talk too much about that fight. It just pissed me off. Lots of sour taste.
Yeah, and like I said, fun card.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't have much else. I didn't have a story of the fight. Nothing really stuck out to me very much.
Yeah.
You know, the Jourdain fight was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Culibao is going to be fun to watch. Imavov is going to be fun to watch. Jordan Williams, they mentioned that he's the first diabetic person in the UFC.
Yeah.
That's an interesting story. Condit, my boy.
Condit coming back.
You know, if anything, that might have been the story of the fight for me, but
Duško.
We'll wait and see. Duško was fantastic. So we saw, again, people emerging.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what they do going forward, and I think that was the story of this entire card, really.
Yeah, and you kind of knew it was going to be
exciting fighters, young fighters.
Yeah, you kind of knew it was going to be just by looking at like the lineup. It's like, okay, cool. There's some names on here that I've never seen
especially
before.
after your moment of silence when you realize how much star power was taken off of the card.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
Yep.
Right. So.
Yeah, it's
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
In the words of Max Holloway, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything else, sir. Do you?
Nope.
All right. Well, hey, got our story of the fight shirts in. Will.
Playoffs.
I'll be sending you yours. Oh shit! Get out of here, man.
Hey,
Playoffs.
A's Astros for the divisional series. Let's do it. Come on.
All right, bro.
Good guys versus bad guys.
Everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the story of the fight this week. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Story of the Fight. We really appreciate everybody's support. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, and when you do subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification button as well. That way you get notified whenever we upload anything new. Don't forget to hit the like button. It goes a long way for us. And leave some comments. We love interacting with everybody.
Yeah, and if you want to stay even more up to date, you can follow us at Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter. And you can email us at storyofthefight@gmail.com. Ask questions, give us feedback, critique us. We want to make this better, and input helps us do that.
Thanks for listening to Story of the Fight, everybody.